Hello, everyone, and welcome to this audio fan commentary on Quantum of Solace. I'm joined by Jack, and with the recent news of Daniel Craig's return to the James Bond role for one more film in 2019, we thought it best to go back and do a commentary on Quantum of Solace, his second film. We have done commentaries for Skyfall and Spectre as well, if you wish to check those out. Again, this is an audio fan commentary, so there's no financial gain involved. We're just fans commentating. If you want to join us, please put your DVD or Blu-ray in, stick your timestamp to 0, and listen along. Other than that, we're good to go. So, Jack, is there anything you want to say before we continue?
Fucking eat it!
I will.
No, yeah, Craig's back.
For one more.
Yeah, his swan song will be here.
Swan song, if she makes it out alive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh. Are we ready?
Yep.
We ready?
Tell me when to press. Yeah, tell me when to press play.
Cool. 3, 2, 1, play.
MGM logo.
Interesting, they would later change this in Skyfall by having the logo pull back.
Yeah, I mean, this film really sort of suffered from financial issues and writers strike and stuff like that. And for a while, I think this, like, some people thought this was going to be the last Bond film in the series. I mean, it would be another 4 years until we got Skyfall. But
that's the wait.
Yeah, but I mean, this opening here, I have to say, I love it. I mean, this was the first Bond film I saw in the cinema all the way back in 2008, and I don't care what anybody says. This opening, like the shots of the Aston Martin, you know, Bond, Daniel Craig, and then we have this car chase. I love it. It's great.
It's a very stylish opening. I mean, the only thing I'd say is it would have been nice to have the gun barrel at the start, but oh well, it's still pretty tense. It's a cool car chase.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be controversial, but you know, the opening to Quantum of Solace is actually my favorite opening for any Bond film. I just love it. I mean, it's just such a great action, high-speed car chase, and you're thrown into the action straight away. You know, Bond basically in his Aston Martin, you know, driving for his life. And, you know, and if you watch this opening, it has so many callbacks to, like, previous Bond car chases, like Dr. No and stuff like that. I mean, and the Spy Loved Me as well. And, I think Craig here, he actually looks, I think, after Casino Royale, I actually think he looks slightly younger than he did in Casino Royale, probably because he grew his hair out for this film. And he's actually slightly blonder than he is in Casino Royale as well.
Yeah. I mean, I personally don't see very much difference in terms of his age, because, I mean, this film takes place literally, an hour or so after Casino Royale. So it's not much different. The only thing is there's a continuity error. They changed his suit. It's not a major problem. This bit with the quarry is probably the best bit. The car shoots the guy.
Yeah, I love it. I think that's awesome. Yeah, the scene where they're driving in the quarry is great. I mean, this film, I know, gets shit on by some fans. They say, like, you know, the action is cut way too quick, or that, you know, they just don't feel that the film's long enough. But I mean, as for the action in this film, I don't mind it. I mean, yes, it is cut quick, but I mean, as is most action films these days. I mean, if you look at something like The Avengers or any other action movie like Jason Bourne or, you know, other action film series, I mean, the action here is cut just the same. And I love that bit there where Craig just shoots the guy.
Like, I think it was Bond sort of catching up with Jason Bourne in terms of the action. It was going for a grittier feel. This movie just I think the editing could be a little less cutty, but still, I mean, you can tell. I mean, if you watch it multiple times, you can tell what's going on.
I mean, even the first time I watched it, I understood what was going on. I mean, I do love this part here where he just opens the boot and it's like,
it's time to get out.
Yeah,
yeah,
Mr. White.
Back to the car. It's interesting how now we know that Mr. White plays a much more significant role, Inspector, as he comes back.
Yeah, I love this opening as well, and the music. I really like the music. I think the Jack White and Alicia Keys song for this is really good. I mean, I just like the tune and the song. I think's good.
Yeah, I don't think it's as bad as people say it is, but I'm not really a huge fan of it. I just don't think it feels like James Bond.
Yeah,
it's not bad, I guess. There's a nice beat to it. I mean, anything Madonna's Die Another Day.
Yeah, I mean, I really love the title sequence, I have to say.
Yeah, I mean, Calvin Dyson bitched about it just being like, oh, it's just a desert, but I don't mind that. I think it looks cool, and it's different to what like you get in some of the later Roger Moore films where they just basically did the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you look at For Your Eyes Only or something, and you could. I mean, I think this is a really good title sequence, like the desert and the women coming out of the desert and stuff like that. I just think it's awesome, and you know, Craig. I mean, my favorite bit especially is when Craig shoots the bullet out of the gun. I just think that's awesome.
And when the title comes up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I just think that's. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I know the theme's sort of controversial. Some people don't like the theme, but I mean, I really like it. I mean, I think, you know, for a one-off, the music works well. Yeah. Yeah.
This is included Daniel Craig in all 4 of his title sequences.
Yeah.
And probably for his 5th one as well.
Yeah. Actually, talking about it, it kind of reminds me a bit of Spy Love Me.
Yeah. Actually, it's worthy to note this title sequence is the only one in the series to be designed by MK12.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, Marc Forster decided to bring his own people to do it.
Yeah. But I think he does a good job, though.
Sorry, that bit of the song just doesn't sound right.
Yeah. I like the woman, whatever, like when they're in space, or well, not when he's in space, but like when he's falling and you can see the stars in the sky. That's really cool.
Yeah, like the globe.
Yeah. And that final shot where you show the gun shooting the bullet again, I just think it's awesome.
In the sand, yeah. I mean, it's an interesting title sequence.
Yeah. I would go so far as to say it's maybe one of my favorites of the series.
I think it's an underrated title sequence. I think it's better than some of all of the Brosnan ones.
Well, yeah, the Brosnan ones are just weird.
Yeah. I still prefer the Casino Royale one, and I think Skyfall Inspector are better title sequences, but this is good. It fits the movie.
Yeah.
Marc Forster.
Yeah.
And this movie's much shorter than Casino Royale as well.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, I kind of agree with Marc Forster. Even though I did like Casino Royale, I think Casino Royale was too long. I mean, you can make the argument that Quantum of Solace is a bit too short, but for me, it's not a major issue. I mean, they could have maybe made it 15 or 20 minutes longer, but for the runtime, I think
2 hours would be good. But yeah, like this is decent for what it is. This film, I think this scene is pretty good.
Yeah.
When they interrogate Mr. White, although it probably could go on a bit longer, I think it's very quick, and then they cut to the next action scene. So,
I like Craig's line. If they wanted Le Chiffre's soul, they should have made a deal with a priest.
It throws off some dry zingers. Like at points, his humor's great.
Yeah, I think Craig here. I mean, it's debatable, but I think he gives one of his best performances just because Bond in this is just so emotionally shut off. You know, basically after the events of after Casino Royale, he just, you know, he doesn't give a fuck anymore. He's just completely blunt, you know, cold killer. And I know,
as a lot of people have said, in Casino Royale was when James became Bond, and I think the end of Casino Royale, he's still angry because he doesn't trust anyone. And I like that this film is a continuation of that. In fact, all 4 Craig movies are sort of continuations of the Casino Royale, obviously. So, and it's a one big grand story now, which is interesting. We see his journey as a character, how he changes over the 4 movies. Well, now 5 movies.
Yeah. I mean, I also have to say the locations are really good. Like, we start off in Siena, like, and I just think that Mr. White interrogation is really good because this is a guy basically helped kill Vesper, you know, and Bond, you know, and that's what I like about this film. I know Alan in his review said that Bond in this, he's just a dick, you know, he just goes around killing people and, you know, he's sort of unlikable. But I mean, if you watch the film and you watch the events of Casino Royale, he's like this. He's going around killing everybody because basically he's distraught. He's sort of, you know, he doesn't know what to do, you know.
I mean, because if you think about it, emotionally, he's already been scarred because of his parents as well. When his parents died, that's when he sort of became emotionally cut off, and the Vesper thing as well. I think he was more upset at the fact that she betrayed him, but obviously her death took its toll. And I like that this film is about him letting go of Vesper. I think that's
yeah, I mean, I think Marc Forster, his direction here is pretty damn solid. I mean, I'll always have a soft spot for this because this is the first Bond film I ever saw in the cinema. I didn't see Casino Royale, but I did see Quantum of Solace. And I like this opening where he's like where Mr. White says we have people everywhere, and he's like, isn't that right? You know.
I guess they tried to do what they did in Casino Royale with like the chase on the rooftops, obviously without the parkour style infused. But I think this is a cool chase.
Yeah.
Again,
I really love this. I really love this. You know, chase for the rooftops. I mean, in the Quantum of Solace game, actually, you get to do this in a level as well.
See, this is a good level in the game.
Yeah. I mean, this film, you know, next year will be 10 years old, which I can't really believe now. It's been 10 years since this film came out.
And Bomb 25 will be 11 years after this.
Yeah.
And Craig's done.
Yeah. But as a Bond film, though, I think this really works just because the fact that, you know, I just think Craig here, I think he really helps hold the film together because you see Bond is emotionally shut off. He really is sort of, he's trying to let go of Vesper, but he's still trying to find the people who did it. You know, he acts as though he doesn't care about Vesper, but he still does, and that's sort of the main focus of the film.
Yeah, and when you know he keeps killing like all the possible leads because you know, again he's not really thinking straight. If you think about it, it's emotional, and that's why M decides to bring him in later on, and then she changes heart, and then he's you know, oh no, well,
yeah.
He would have done that to Fields, and then she's like, oh yes, right now I get it. Now he's onto something. I'm thinking about that.
Yeah.
We'll get to that later.
I mean, some people say in this film that this film it's way too dark and there's enough humor, but I disagree. I mean, that scene there with the woman, you know, where they knock over the tomatoes, that tomato bath or whatever.
I think there's this is like the least humorous of Craig's movies, but it's not a complaint as such. I think they lighten him up in the next 2 films.
I still think Craig does have some really good one-liners here, like, oh, she's seasick. You know, you and I are a mutual friend. Like,
also when Camille says to him, "There's something horribly efficient about you." Is that a compliment?
I can't find the stationery.
Yeah, stationery. I never understood that one actually.
I think it's because she was a receptionist or something.
Oh yeah, she just worked in an office.
Yeah.
This is great. This part on the bell tower.
Yeah. I love. I mean, watching this in the cinema back in 2008, I absolutely love this. Yeah.
I mean, now the CGI looks a little obvious, but it's only one shot.
Yeah.
Like, they barely use any CGI in this movie, which is a testament, really.
Yeah.
I mean, the producers said that, like when they were making Quantum of Solace, they said, "Oh, we wanted a lot more action." As Casino Royale was long, we didn't have as much action as we do now.
Yeah.
They wanted to beef up the action, which I think is fair enough.
And I think the action was really good in this. Like this scene, the bell tower, where they're swinging on the vines. You know, it's really brutal, but it's really well done. You know.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome, really.
And Daniel Craig is just Bond. I mean, he's just so in it in the film. Like, I really feel sorry for Bond in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, I think Daniel Craig, with each Bond film, he gets better. I mean, Casino Royale, he was great, and I think here in Quantum, he's even better because you really see Bond is emotionally shut off, and you know, he's basically, and that shot there is great. Where he just reaches for the gun and just shoots the guy. You know,
that was great.
Yeah. But I mean, I think for a Bond film, and I think as for Daniel Craig, I just think every Bond film he seems to get better. Like Casino Royale, he's really good. He's starting to find his feet, but he's good. Then Quantum of Solace, you really see him sort of emotionally shut off. And then Skyfall, you see him sort of ease up a bit more humor. And then in Spectre, I think he gives his best performance. I think with each film, Craig just gets better.
I think you needed this performance in Quantum to sort of, like, there's an evolution to his Bond as a character, because all his films are connected now, so you're seeing a journey, and I think he gradually gets better each time. I think you're right. In Spectre, he's much more humorous. They've loosened him up as he's gone on, and I think he still has the emotional weight of Bond, which is why I think he's the best, personally. Not to say that the others don't, but I just feel Craig delivers the best.
Yeah.
And Judi Dench.
I think Judi Dench here is great as well.
She feels the pressure in this film. How he's just killing him.
Yeah.
It's funny when she says, "What the hell is this organization?" Now that we know who they actually are, it's interesting that they're actually Spectre.
It's interesting in this film as well. She keeps bringing up the fact that Bond hasn't got over the death of Vesper, and he's trying to say that he has, but you know, kind of deep down, he hasn't. I mean, I think in terms of this film as well, like I think the story. I mean, the reason why I prefer it to Casino Royale, even though Casino Royale is great, is I just think it's a bit too long, and you know, the Vesper love story, I get why they brought it in, but I just feel like we already kind of went over that ground in On Her Majesty's Secret Service. We didn't really need another Bond girl, you know, for Bond to fall in love with again. So even though Casino Royale I really do enjoy, I mean, it saved the franchise, but I think I prefer Quantum.
Fair
purely
enough.
because it's. I think I prefer Quantum just because it is a revenge story and it is shorter. And you know, I think I'm not the only one. I mean, I know you and Alan prefer Casino, but I know Louis agrees with me that he thinks Quantum is better. I mean, I wonder if Louis is online at the moment.
Maybe. I actually think the only thing I don't really get is MI6. It's very inconsistent when they've gone to this big modern building, whereas in the previous film, they had an old-fashioned building.
Yeah.
Unless this is like a separate lab, but I don't really know what's going on there. But I mean, I'd say this film does cut to the chase. I mean, the pacing is pretty good. Considering it's like 1 hour 45 minutes long. It's just like the shortest Bond film, actually.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes to the Craig films, I think all four of them are great. I mean, Casino is really good. Quantum is better, I think. Skyfall is, you know, your favorite Bond film,
Yeah.
and Spectre is my favorite Bond film. So,
I mean,
I think,
saying you think like as the one better.
yeah. This scene's quite good as well, where this assassin tries to kill him.
Yeah, it's the slate.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, one thing I will say, there are a lot of action scenes in this, but it doesn't hurt the movie. I mean, when you go to a Bond movie, you're expecting action,
Yeah.
And when Craig just, kills him.
The action is fast. It is quite fast and furious.
The guy that he killed, this might sound weird, but he looks a bit like Nick Cutter from Primeval.
I thought he looks like Jamie Oliver. I don't know if that's just me.
He's come to cook him up a stir fry. Well, he got his just desserts.
I prefer quiche.
Yeah. I think Craig, yeah, he's very just to the point in this movie, and that works for me because Bond is just. I mean, I think I said this before in my review and on other hangouts, but for me, for me, Quantum of Solace is License to Kill done right. I mean, License to Kill is a revenge movie, but there's just way too much humor and
there's
just a
conflicting
mix.
tones. License to
Yeah.
Kill is like trying to be campy and then it's trying to be dark. It's like, what the fuck?
I mean, you got Professor Joe, like bless your heart, and
Quantum of Solace knows what it is. I'll say that it has an identity.
Yeah, I mean that's what I like about it. I mean, and you compare this to License to Kill. I mean, License to Kill, I think I don't hate License to Kill. I think it's okay, but as a film, License to Kill, it doesn't know what it's going for. It doesn't know if it's either going to be a dark movie. I mean,
music in this scene. Da-da-da-dum.
also, I think License to Kill suffers in the fact that it's way too violent. I mean, Quantum of Solace is violent, but License to Kill, you've got people's heads exploding. You've got.
I also think License to Kill is too long as well.
Yeah, I think License to Kill, 15. You got people's head. You got Milton Crest's head blowing up. You've got Dario going into a meat grinder or whatever it is, like a drugged, thing grinder, and it just doesn't know what it's. It just doesn't know what it wants to be really.
That wasn't very nice. Well, I missed.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good scene. I also have to say,
Get bombed. Like Bill Tanner.
I also have to say that the Bond girl in this is very good as well.
Camille, yeah, she's pretty good.
Yeah, Camille.
Her story is quite emotional.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's one of my. I think she's one of the. I think she actually is one of my favorite Bond girls, just because the fact that she's. Basically her family have been destroyed by Meldrano. She's sort of going on a, a quest for revenge.
Yeah.
Oh, here we get to Elvis. Oh, God.
Yeah.
One thing I will say. One thing I will say, Dominic Green, he's not the best villain, but I don't hate him. I know you think he's kind of silly, but
I think he's a sissy. Like he's not intimidating. He's not threatening to Craig at all. He talks in a whiny voice. I don't think he's the worst villain of the series, but he's not great.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me like I'm stupid.
He's just creepy. That's what I kind of like him. He's just a bit creepy. I mean, he's not the best villain. I mean, he's no Le Chiffre, and he's no Silva or Blofeld, but I mean, he's supposed to be an environmentalist. He's not really supposed to be a physical threat. So, um, that's why I sort of give him a pass. Please don't talk to me like I'm stupid.
Please don't talk to me like I'm stupid.
It's silly when he gets the axe out in the end. Yeah.
The one thing I will say when I rewatched Quantum a while back was that that scene where that scene where he gets the axe and he goes yeah. I did laugh at that.
Yeah. It's funny, actually. I look at this in a different light now, because now we know that Dominic Green is actually part of Spectre. It kind of changes the perspective when you watch all 4 movies, one after the other.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder how Blofeld came across all these people.
Yeah. Is Dominic Green French, by the way, in the film?
The actor is, yes.
Yeah.
I took an iron.
Dominic Greenlay.
Dream a little dream of green. Well, I mean, the actor tries, but I just don't think the character's written particularly well. He's just kind of uninteresting when you compare him to, like, Christoph Waltz's Blofeld or Silver or even some of the villains from the Moore era. He's just kind of, like, not terrible, but actually, no, I do think he's terrible. Not the worst. He's better than Graves.
I mean, I will say, as a physical presence, he's not intimidating, but in terms of sort of just a creepy villain, like the ways like, oh, you've been sleeping to me to get to Maldrano. I mean, I think he kind of works on that level. I mean, in terms of intimidation, he's not good, but in terms of psychologically and stuff, and I mean, I think he is threatening, but yeah.
I mean, he's trying to be like Christoph Waltz's Blofeld.
Yeah. One thing I will say, I think the henchman Elvis is crap. I mean, he does nothing. I mean, he's got a Blackadder, bowl haircut. That's really it,
Blackadder, Blackadder.
Yeah, I mean, I expect, Rowan Atkinson to come in or whatever.
Well, he was Johnny English.
Yeah.
Actually, speaking of which, they're doing a 3rd Johnny English movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's filming at the moment.
All right. I didn't think Johnny English Reborn.
Medrano.
I wonder if they'll ever do another Austin Powers, like an Austin Powers 4, but
they might do.
It's been 20 years since the first film.
Yeah. I've never actually seen them. I need to watch them.
Yeah.
I mean, General Medrano is a villain. I like him, but I just don't think the rape scene is necessary near the end. He's the physical threat. The Green is meant to be the psychological threat. One is a bastard. I mean, I love how he's involved in the story. I just feel that showing him actually raping kill in a Bond movie, I just didn't think that was appropriate. But fair enough.
I mean, General Medrano. Yeah, I can understand why people find it uncomfortable, but I mean, the rape scene itself. I mean, I kind of think that even if you find it unnecessary or whatever, I think it shows how much of a bastard he is. That he would do that.
Yeah.
So,
but I don't think you see it. Maybe you could have just heard the sound of it. I think that might have been very intimidating.
Well, we didn't actually see anything on screen. You didn't see him actually rape her. So, I mean,
there's far worse in like Game of Thrones and other things.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought Game of Thrones would have turned you on. Well,
I don't really like Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Louis is a big fan of it now.
Sorry?
Louis is a big fan of it now.
Fair enough. I guess because Doctor Who's going down the toilets.
Yeah, I think he got into it now since the new Doctor was announced.
I've watched the first 2 seasons of Game of Thrones. I mean, it was okay, but it was well made. But again, there's too much sex, and it's just like people talking. Yeah, that's it.
I like Boardwalk Empire. That's a good show. I'm on season 3 of that now. I just recently borrowed the box set from my uncle so I could watch the rest of them. There's quite a lot of sex in that as well. It's an HBO show though, so I mean you do kind of expect that, but yeah.
Yeah.
I mean this action scene here is quite good when Bond's on the bike and he's jumping over the
Boats.
yeah.
Mm.
I mean I think Craig definitely got to flex his muscles a lot more in this film. I mean, I'd say this is probably one of the more physically challenging Bond films for Craig.
I think this might be his Bond film with like the most action.
Yeah. And I think Craig does he do all of his stunts or does he do like most of his stunts?
I think he does as many as he can.
Yeah.
Like, he likes to get his face in there, he said. So I think he tries to do all of the stunts.
Yeah.
But this is a pretty good boat chase. So the Live and
Yeah.
Let is still far but superior in my opinion.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
I think Craig does get quite a few good one-liners in this, and I really like his relationship between him and Camille. I mean, I think my favorite Bond girl though with him is maybe Madeline Swan, but I think Camille's up there as well.
Yeah, him and Madeline have good chemistry.
She actually gets a bit of, that's what I like about her as well. Is she reminds me a bit of Pam from License to Kill. She gets her hands dirty.
What, Madeline? Camille?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, Camille. Camille kind of reminds me of Pam Bouvier from License to Kill, and the fact that she's kind of kick off
so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bullshit.
God, don't remind me of Loopy.
Well, James stayed with me last night. I couldn't bear him if he had to. I just love James so much.
I think he said when he watched that in the cinema, everybody just kind of laughed.
Yeah, I mean, I watched it again when it was on TV. When that scene came up, I was like, oh god, yeah. I'm feeling it.
To be honest, she's kind of the wink link of the cast. I mean, Loopy's just kind of, she's quite wooden.
She is. I mean, I know she was a bad actress, but there's no need to whip her, Sanchez.
Yeah.
I actually have to say, I love the score by David Arnold. I think his music for the recent films have been amazing. Really, really good.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, it's Thomas Newman, though, doing the scores in Skyfall.
Yeah, and Spectre. And they're both very similar, those.
Yeah. Is he doing... Do you think he'll do the score for the next film?
I don't think he will, but if he does, then fair enough. But because I think he's worked with Sam Mendes before. They might bring David Arnold back, or they might get someone new to score the movie.
Yeah, I mean, what's interesting about John Williams is his last score was for License, but he was still alive up until 2011. I mean, I think maybe he just retired, or they didn't want him to come back. They wanted to get someone else in, but I don't know. Because I mean, License to Kill was also the last one that Cubby Broccoli produced.
Oh, I love this music.
Yeah. I mean, talking about Martin Campbell briefly, because he did the previous film. I mean, GoldenEye, I know a lot of people say save the series. It was okay.
Yeah,
I think
it was good, but it wasn't brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, I think GoldenEye, for me, I mean, I used to hate GoldenEye, but I just think it's average now. It's okay.
Did you rate it -1?
What?
Did you rate it -1 out of 10?
No, I mean, in my review back in 2014, I think I gave it a 0 out of 10. But, I mean, now I probably give it a 5 out of 10. I mean, it's not a bad movie. It's just kind of average. But I mean, I don't think it saved the series. I think Casino Royale saved the series.
Yeah.
I mean, I think GoldenEye has problems like Xenia and Boris and just the plot. Like, I mean, Alec Trevelyan doesn't come into the film until halfway into the film, you know, so it's kind of, you know, he only turns up like an hour into it, which I think is a bit late, to be honest. But yeah.
Mm. Yeah. Well, the M's constantly questioning Bond about the people he killed. There's a lot of tension between their relationship this time, and it's interesting in the next film we see them that develop much more into a sentimental relationship.
Yeah.
And for Mother.
I think Judi Dench is really good in this because she's trying to help Bond, but Bond's sort of going rogue in this. Like he becomes a bit of.
And she's trying to keep pace with the Americans as well, because they want the oil, of course.
Yeah, I mean, Bond is really just kind of a rogue agent in this film, which, you know, isn't a bad thing because in the previous films like Casino Royale, he's just sort of, you know, getting to become 00. Here he gets to sort of, you see Bond come back after he sort of completed his own personal vendetta.
That's like, yeah, most of the Daniel Craig movies have not had like, oh, Bond, this is your mission. You know, you've got to take this person down. He's been rogue for most of his era, I would say Daniel Craig has.
Yeah.
I mean, the only when he's been given a mission are obviously Casino Royale, when he has to go to the casino, and then Skyfall, when he's asked to go to Shanghai.
Oh, yeah. This scene we're coming up to here is the scene with Felix. I mean, to be honest, I think Jeffrey Wright, you know, if they're going to bring him back, they should maybe bring him back for Craig's last film. I mean,
that would be nice if they team up. Actually, he should get more involved in the action.
Yeah. I mean, and
how much longer? So do we have an understanding? Yeah.
I mean, I do like Felix's interaction with Bond in this one. Like, he does help him, like, when he basically tells him the CIA or whatever it is, they're going to come in and kill him. And he has only like a minute to get out of there, you know.
Somehow he's the only one not wearing a black suit.
Yeah.
Drill it underground. He kept up everybody's
I mean, one thing I will say about Dominic Green, I mean, even if yeah, he's not a physical presence. I mean, I don't know. There's something about his eyes that kind of makes him a bit creepy to me. Like, his eyes are really like black and like kind of big.
Yeah, he tries to look very intense.
Yeah. He reminds me. I mean, his eyes. He kind of looks a little bit, not a lot, but he reminds me a little bit of Al Pacino from Godfather 2. Just the greased back, you know, the greased back hair and all that.
Yeah, I'll make him an offer he cannot refuse.
Bond, you broke my heart.
You broke Quantum. I told you what you wanted to know about Spectre.
Yeah. So I guess after the Emoji movie, this is sort of therapy.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, the rant definitely relieved my. I'm calm now. It's relieved any sort of anger I had. It's a good form of
anger is energy.
Yeah.
Oh. God. I mean, I know Calvin Dyson sort of complains about the title cards in this, but I don't mind him. I mean, you know, they're not a big issue.
No.
You know.
You know who Green is? You want to put his friends in. You are kidding, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. We should just deal with nice people.
I really love the next scene that comes up, the opera scene. I love the music for it.
Yeah.
I just don't like the action scene that follows it. The action scene is just weird.
I love this music. The
best music piece of the film, actually.
Yeah. You know, it says, I need to know you're on the team. You know, we should only deal with nice people. That's kind of interesting because you basically find out that the CIA aren't always on Bond's side. You know, they'll side with people who are considered bad if it, you know.
Is it trying to make a statement about the CIA in that sense? Is that they're not as you know, security I say security freaks as MI6, but they're more they're not as aware as MI6.
Well, no, I think I think they're trying to say they'll make deals with bad people if it means there's peace or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this opera scene. I mean, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I love the design of this building, like Tosca. Like, I wouldn't actually mind going into this building. And seeing it. It looks like a really like expensive event.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, this scene is actually, it's really good, and like the way Bond appears is quite cool as well. I mean,
I just think that.
Marc Forster is kind of a dramatic director, and I kind of see, you know, you definitely see the dramatic elements he adds into this film as well as the action parts as well. Like,
yeah, he's definitely a dramatist, and he's tried to make a kind of an art house implementation on this. In a way, it's kind of cool, but in some cases it doesn't work. When they intercut the action scene with the opera, it's like it's too weird. I think the action scene ruins this scene, but the actual scene is great though. That's just my opinion though. Oh. So serious, Mr. Bond.
Yeah. I mean, this scene kind of reminds me.
Sorry.
The way he. No. I was going to say, this opera scene, the way they intercut it kind of reminds me of the opera scene from The Godfather Part 3, the way they intercut, you know, what's going on with the sniper and, you know, the actual opera itself. It's like Marc Forster was trying to make a reference to that or something. I don't know.
Maybe he was inspired.
What?
Maybe he was inspired by it.
Yeah. I just love the way Craig breaks the handle off the door.
Do you think Spectre have different earpieces now with the octopus ring?
Yeah. I do really like this opera scene, though. It is really well done.
I'd love to see it live, actually. Would have loved to have seen it being filmed. That would have been interesting.
It'd be funny if someone did it. It'd be funny if someone did an edit of this where it like cuts to Al Pacino or whatever.
Oh, Elvis. Did they actually film in Austria?
I think, yeah, they did. I mean, the Bond films are always expensive to make, so...
Maybe that's another reason why this film is very short, because it was they had financial problems. So maybe they couldn't make it any longer.
Yeah, I think it was something to do with MGM. MGM went into financial difficulties during this time.
Yeah.
I mean, MGM now it's kind of sort of like it's a studio, but it's sort of a mini studio. Like it sort of I think it belongs to Columbia now, MGM. So it's sort of like it's sort of like, you know, part of another studio. So I think that's why they had problems with this film.
Yeah, I think actually the success of Skyfall obviously really brought them further out of the financial problems. They managed to spread themselves out of it after like a few years after this movie.
Yeah, I mean, Skyfall is the highest grossing Bond film. I mean, I guess you could say Thunderball if you're adjusting it for inflation, but Skyfall is still like the highest grossing Bond film.
Where do you think you're going?
Yeah.
About like they're trying to do like a secret meeting in such a public place.
Yeah.
When Bond announces himself, they're like, "Fuck it, let's just go."
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting to see Mr. White here as well, since he escapes the start of the film.
With his wife.
Yeah. Like, could you imagine if like Bond went outside, he got shot by this, like Judi Dench got shot by the sniper, and like Bond just like starts screaming. I just love the way he looks at like Dominic Green. Like I just that look Dominic Green gives Bond is just kind of priceless.
He's like shitting himself.
Yeah.
Mr. White's line, this is well, maybe Tosca's not for everyone.
Yeah.
We only have an hour of this film left.
I know it does go by quite quickly.
Surprisingly, like how short it is compared to the other 3 movies.
Which, you know, I don't mind. I mean, it's an hour. It's an hour and 41 minutes. So for a Bond film, I guess you could say it's a bit short, but I don't mind that. I mean, I think if it had been longer, you know, maybe by 20 minutes, I'd have been fine by it. But, you know, an hour... I mean, we don't need every Bond film to be 2 hours or 2.5 hours. I mean, Spectre's the longest at like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I mean,
you know,
I think 2 hours is like a good average.
Yeah.
I felt this was a bit too short, but I still enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I mean, this is, I think, where this scene goes wrong. It's just the editing. It's the editing. The action choreography is fine. It's the editing of it that really annoys me.
What bit are you on?
We've been compromised. When he throws the guy off the...
Are you? Yeah.
Wow,
I like that bit where it's like, piss off.
I think originally there was a different ending for Quantum of Solace, and they stuck it on the game, or they hinted towards it, like Bond going after Haynes.
Yeah, I mean it's quite interesting as well because the guy that was killed was actually an MI6 agent, so Bond really kind of fucked up.
Yeah. I think they say that he's a member of Special Branch, the guy that he kills.
Oh yeah, Special Branch, yeah. Yeah, he was one of the Prime Minister's bodyguards, I think they said. Haynes' bodyguard, yeah, Special Branch.
You get my pictures? That's stress in your voice.
I need you to come in and debrief.
I don't have time.
Kill the man in brilliance.
I did my best not to.
You shot him at point blank.
Now she's starting to shit herself a bit. You're like, oh shit, he's just killing everyone. What's going on?
Yeah. That face he kind of makes, he's like, oh yeah, shit.
Bond, are you missing the fact that you killed a member of Special Branch? I need you to come in.
He's just like, you need to debrief. He's like, no, I'm not. Sorry, piss off, basically. He's basically saying, go away,
He didn't realise.
Yeah. And when she says cancel his cards, that's when Bond really starts to go rogue.
I would. But right now, I need to find the man who tried to kill him.
I want to know everything we get now about Haynes. Canna? Be careful who you trust with this. Put an alert on his passport. That's your character and I am.
It's interesting how Bond then proceeds to go to Mathis, who actually, I'm surprised Mathis even lets him in the front door.
Yeah.
I would say though, Mathis is, to me, a little bit wasted in this movie. I would have liked to have seen him a bit more than just killing him off.
Yeah. That actress with the ginger hair, I've seen her in a few comedies.
What's her name?
Been in quite a few. I don't know, but she's been in quite a few comedies. I think she was in Horrible Histories, and she was also in.
I like that. The way he just looks at her.
Yeah.
Tell them I'm headed to Cairo. Craig's charming.
Yeah. I mean that's one thing I will say. Like my mum said, like he's not attractive, but like you sort of know when he's in a room, he's kind of charming that way.
Yeah. I love the aerial shots here.
Yeah. I mean, one thing, I will say is the locations are great, and since I've been to Sicily recently, you know, it's almost like he's coming home.
Mathis.
What do you want? I will apologize.
This is close to an apology you get from Bond.
Mathis has got a sexy girlfriend.
Ooh. So basically, when they found out he was innocent, they released him and gave him a villa.
And a sexy wife. Yeah, I mean that's what's interesting in Casino Royale. You think he's the bad guy, but he's not.
Actually,
And you actually see him sort of make up with Bond as well, which is really good.
Yeah, and I'm surprised Mathis actually agrees.
Yeah,
I guess he kind of forgives Bond because the chief kind of manipulated Bond into thinking Mathis was the bad guy when he really wasn't.
yeah.
I was sorry to hear about Vesper.
I was sorry to hear.
I think she loved you.
I think you
Right up until the moment she did.
Yeah, you really see there Bond he's still really bitter over it. He's still really. I mean, he kind of hates Vesper after Casino Royale, like that. That scene where he says the bitch is dead.
Yeah, I mean he loves her, but obviously he hates what she did, and he just can't deal with that. He's not emotionally stable.
Yeah.
Something called the Tierra Project. You know it?
I guess Mathis is like his only true friend at the moment.
Yeah.
Should I? I suppose not. You haven't been keeping secrets as long as I have. He keeps a very low profile, but is one of the Prime Minister's closest advisors.
It's been on 50 minutes.
Discuss your enemies.
Yeah.
You know
Well, that's
anything about
the
Syria? Your enemies. I was
Yeah.
stationed in South America for 7 years.
Same.
And we have some contacts there.
We have some contacts there. A few.
Come with me.
Come on.
Oh, I'll get my hands on your skin.
Oh. Yes. What's interesting as well, he just seems sort of down all these drinks. Yeah.
Martinis. It's like he's got his own little private bar.
Yeah.
You can't sleep.
May I fix your drink, sir?
May I fix your drinks? What do you think?
Three measures of Gordon's gin, one
Three
of
measures of Gordon's
Tina Lele, which is not the milk.
which is not oat. Shake
The
a
large,
to the
thin
slice
slice
of
of lemon.
serve with a large, thin slice of lemon.
That's impressive. I guess you should have them.
I could just
Give me a wait.
oh, you'll just give me a break.
I like this.
What's also in. Yeah.
Oh, what's giving you?
Yeah, go on. Yeah.
I know. I was just saying I like seeing how Mathis and Bond make amends.
Yeah. It's also interesting that Bond still has Vesper's picture with the other guy.
Yeah, because he still hasn't let go of her. He still loves her at the same time he hates her.
Yeah. It's a love-hate relationship.
Like he was going to resign from his job for her, just to go around the world traveling.
I'm going to try it.
Yeah. Well, he did resign and then, sort of came out of retirement, I guess.
Well, he never left. And this is where we get introduced to our second Bond girl, Fields, or Strawberry Fields. Oh, fuck's sake.
I have to say she's quite fit, Gemma Arterton.
I think she's a very attractive actress. She's wasted in this movie.
Well, I suppose most Bond girls are kind of wasted, but yeah. I like what she's wearing. I'll arrest you, put you in jail. Understand? He's like, perfectly, get in. The only one scene I do not like of Quantum of Solace is the scene where you find where you find Fields and covered in oil.
Yeah, that scene is a bit of a piss take.
It's just ripping off Goldfinger. Even when I watched that, I was just like, that's just ripping off Goldfinger.
I understand it was well intentioned and it was meant to be a reference, but it comes across as very forced.
Yeah.
Too obvious a reference.
What's also interesting about this Bond film is he spends a lot of time in like sort of basically hellhole kind of countries, you know.
Bolivia.
Well, yeah, like he spends a lot of time in very poor countries in this film, which because he's trying to track these bad guys, which sort of interesting.
Hmm. I love that shot.
Is it me or is she taller than Daniel Craig, or is she about the same height?
I think they're similar height.
I think maybe it was because she was standing on the curb. I have to say, I like her outfit.
Craig really suits sunglasses. His Bond just interesting how he wears sunglasses in all of his movies.
I like that line, like we're school teachers, we just won the lottery. I kind of like the fact that she just goes along with what Bond does.
Yeah, he charms her.
Oh, the slide here.
I can't. Find the stationery.
Stationery.
I can't find the stationery.
Want to help me look?
In the bed.
I remember actually when I watched this scene, like where they're having, you know, sex, I actually walked out of the cinema to go to the toilet because I just found it awkward watching it with my parents.
Yeah, although it wasn't really much of a sex scene. It was just kissing in the bed.
Well, yeah. I just walked out of that bit to go to the toilet. 'Cause it was just awkward watching it with my parents. But yeah.
I mean, it's not actually. This is like the only sort of bed scene of the film.
Yeah, but the way he's kissing her back and stuff, I just kind of find it awkward because my mum and dad were right beside me. I just said, "Can I go to the toilet?" Because I just find it a bit awkward. But yeah.
If anything, like GoldenEye is more awkward.
Yeah, that was weird. No, but I mean, I was only 11, so you know.
I don't have Range Rovers in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, I find watching sex scenes in movies or TV shows with my parents just very awkward.
Yeah. If you're on your own, it's not too bad.
Yeah. You can have a wank? No, joking.
Dominic Green making speech.
1945, 17% of the planet's vegetated surface.
I have to say what's really interesting about I think the plot to this is very good because he's not after oil, he's after Bolivia's water supply so he can sort of control the country. That's what's really interesting about it.
If you think about it, like Spectre planned to dominate all the countries in the world, so I guess he's like you could say each agent is in charge of like one kind of country or one sector of a Silver has his own island where he can find out different missions. Green can take over Bolivia, and Le Chiffre tries to, you know, get himself out of debt. So there's so much. They all have responsibilities, which I think is interesting.
Yeah. I mean, when I first watched this in the cinema and I heard the name Quantum, it just kind of reminded me of Spectre. It's like, oh, we're like everywhere. Quantum, it is sort of similar to Spectre. And I think what was so good about Spectre and why it is probably my favorite Bond film is because it just connected the dots in a really... They did it in a really good way where it made sense. You know what I mean? Because, like, they haven't heard of Quantum before, but now they hear but they've always heard of Spectre. Now it's, you know... Quantum is Spectre. I mean, that's what's interesting about it.
And, yeah, like all of the Craig villains are Spectre agents.
Oh, and Camille's pretending to be drunk here. She's like Green Planet.
Got my facts wrong. Yes, I think you have. Yes.
How does Camille like work her way up to Dominic Green?
Well, I believe she's believing Secret Service. So she's kind of, I think, because he's the closest link to General Medrano, so he must have like researched and like founded his organization and obviously tried to sleuth his way through to find Medrano and kill him.
I'd say Camille is attractive.
Oh, wow, you want to sleep your way around her?
Well, she can have my Quantum of Solace. I mean, what's interesting is, I mean, I know Marc Commode sort of took the piss out of the name Quantum of Solace. He's like, oh, Quantum of Solace, it's like Pond of Wood, like. But I mean, it's a title that Ian Fleming wrote in his memoirs, Quantum of Solace. You know, it's not that stupid of a title. I mean, Fleming came up with that title. I don't get that criticism by Marc Commode. You know.
Yeah, I understand it as Organization of Solitude.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, it makes sense. Like Marc Commode's like, oh, Quantum of Solace, it's like Pond of Wood, you know. Well, Ian Fleming wrote the title, so it's not like they made it up.
It's actually quite an ambiguous title. He's Bond's Organization of Solitude, and the fact that he's basically all alone now.
I mean, it makes more sense than Tomorrow Never Dies. I mean, come on.
Yeah. GoldenEye.
Yeah. I mean, what the fuck does Tomorrow Never Dies mean? Like, what?
Yeah. Obviously, Carver's paper is called Tomorrow, but even so, Tomorrow Never Lies, I believe, is the original title.
Yeah. Well, this is when Fields knocks Elvis down the stairs, and you see that he's wearing a wig.
What? Oh my gosh! I'm so sorry. I don't get why she did that. That didn't make sense.
I think because she knew that Elvis was like Dominic.
Green was there watching.
What does she say? You're boldly efficient, and he says, "Is that a compliment?"
I think his more humorous moments are yet to come in Skyfall and Spectre.
Yeah. What did she say? You're what? And he said, "Is that a compliment?"
There's something horribly efficient about you. I find this to be ill-timed. Like the death of Mathis. Like, oh, such a shame. Like if you're going to bring Mathis back, make more out of his return. He's only in 3 scenes of this movie, and they're not very long scenes.
And what pissed me off as well is Bond just chucks his body in a bin. Like, come on, you know, really?
Oh, he wouldn't care. Actually, I think he would.
Yeah.
And apparently Mathis is his cover name. Ugh.
But why does he have him in the boot anyway? Oh no, it wasn't him. He was sort of set up, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why they shoot Mathis. Like, are the police like stupid?
Like, he's not actually. Like, he just throws Mathis on the floor.
Yeah.
If they hadn't had the problems with this movie, they could have really refined the structure of it.
I think the structure's fine. I think Mathis's death could have been handled better.
Yeah, I mean, if you were going to kill him off, then yeah, it's just not timed very well.
Yeah.
I mean, we're an hour into the film, so still got 45 minutes left.
Yeah. I mean, I do like Mathis, but I agree. Like I just think his death is just kind of rushed. Like he's just shot and then.
Yeah, I don't like the whole.
No, I mean, I do like this when he's sort of like hugging him or holding him like that.
Yeah, cradling him.
Yeah.
It's like Bond is always the victim of tragedy. He's always the one to lose people.
Yeah.
Because he lost Vesper and now he's losing Mathis. and obviously in Skyfall he'll lose M. So that's
Well, like as Ray Fiennes says, a license to kill is also a license not to kill.
yeah. That's why I find Daniel Craig's Bond more interesting. Just his Bond is the one who's suffered the most losses, really, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Not Madeline. Hopefully Madeline won't die in Bond 25.
I like the line by Mathis before he dies, like, you know, forgive yourself, like forgive her and forgive yourself, and then they play the Vesper music from Casino Royale. Like dun dun dun.
Yeah. Some of the themes from Casino Royale were reused here, which is good.
Yeah.
That is a bit disrespectful. Just takes his money.
Yeah.
Bin. They could have handled that better.
Yeah, I mean, I like Mathis's last line, you know, forgive Vesper and forgive yourself. But then when he just kind of chucks him in the bin, you know, it's kind of like, really, is that all you're gonna do? You know, you're not gonna give him a burial.
Like taken him, buried him somewhere.
Yeah. Or just brought, or I would have left his body in the car so the police could have, like, you know, I'd have brought his body to the hospital so the police could have buried it, you know.
Or cremate him. Like, stop.
Yeah. Or like Diamonds Are Forever where Connery's in a coffin and they're about to burn it. This scene here where he's in the desert and there's just that random guy, it just reminds me of a Western for some reason.
Yeah.
Like I'm expecting like Clint Eastwood or Eli Wallach to just appear.
Like, I don't get this. Why didn't Bond just subdue the guy and just take the plane instead of like having to give him the car? But then again, I guess they can get the car in the plane.
He'll make much more when he sells us out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a pretty cool action sequence on this plane.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is a really cool action scene. Like the plane is really cool.
The great geologist had proved that there was.
Yeah, I've only got
Bolivian secret
39 minutes left.
used to be
It's going quickly.
that you infiltrated Green's organization by having sex with him.
I'm having sex with him.
Good offense.
No, not the slightest.
What's your interest in
Amongst other things, he tried to kill a friend of mine.
a woman?
Yes. But it's not what you think.
Your mother?
She likes to think so.
That's sort of foreshadowing for Skyfall. Because, your mother. So.
Yeah.
What's that down there?
The record? I wasn't great for my.
I wasn't really great for my pussy.
Yeah.
Just for the record, I wasn't great for my.
Look, I have to say when they fall into a ravine, and yeah, this action scene is really good. I really like it.
I think on a sort of stunt coordinator's level, it's pretty impressive. Like all the stunts. Quantum of Solace has really got impressive stunts. A lot of people overlook the sort of the choreography, the action sequences, including this one. And they just write the film off as like, ooh, it's crap, ooh, it's not as good as the other ones, ooh.
It's like
it was a gateway for this Spectre scene, which they had the plane scene in the snow, which I thought was actually better than this as well.
yeah, I mean, one thing I will say, I mean, at least Quantum of Solace actually has real stunts, unlike Die Another Day, where it's all CGI.
Yeah, rubber James Bond windsurfing.
Yeah. Yeah, the piece of plastic action, man.
You're a piece of plastic. You are made to be thrown away.
Yeah. I mean, that scene where he's windsurfing the tsunami in Die Another Day, it's like, this is miles better than that.
Can you imagine Bosman in this movie, like when Mathis dies? Like, I never should have left you alone. But give yourself. Okay, I will.
Yeah. I mean, I know Alan rates this as his second least favorite Bond film. I mean, to be honest, I don't see how this is worse than Die Another Day, but it's Alan's opinion, you know. I mean, he's entitled to his opinion, and fair enough, you know. But
a lot of people hate View to a Kill, to be fair.
yeah.
And I mean, this movie, yeah, seems to get hated on. You know, it's all opinions at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Agree on
At the end of the day, fucking hate it.
I mean, I just hope that, you know, 125 sends Craig out with a bang. You know, I don't want it to fall short after the long wait. I'm just concerned because we haven't got a director yet. I just hope that they get a good director.
Yeah, let's hope they don't get someone like Lee Tamahori again.
Yeah. I mean, also, Craig will himself be involved in producing it, so
Yeah.
hopefully that will elevate the story somewhat as well.
Yeah. Speaking of that, actually, I might do a rant on XXX State of the Union, since that's also directed by Lee Tamahori.
Yeah, well, you should say directed. To say it's directed is sort of an overstatement.
Ice Cube is XXX, and William Dafoe's in it as well as
Ice Cube is Kiss Kiss Kiss.
Jackson. Oh, God. I mean, my cousin showed me a bit of XXX State of the Union a couple of months ago, and I fell asleep during it. It was that fucking boring. Like, it was that bad as well. Like, if you think Die Another Day is bad, you haven't seen anything until you've seen XXX State of the Union. Oh.
I think this is impressive, actually. How as you know, the plane gets destroyed, and Craig and Camille jump out of the plane, and he obviously goes out without a parachute.
Yeah.
Gearing up. Come on!
I mean, Daniel Craig, I mean, even though he's done James Bond, he's done quite a few other films. Like, he's done Tintin, The Golden Compass, which I heard isn't very good.
Yeah, Defiance he did as well, which I haven't seen.
Yeah.
And he's in the new Logan Lucky, which looks quite good.
He also did Layer Cake.
Yeah, Layer Cake was a good film.
One thing I will say, the CGI of them falling, like the close-ups of the face of CGI is it's not very good.
Yeah, it is a little bit dated. Actually, say about Layer Cake, it was actually the film that the producers noticed Craig and they thought, yeah, he'd be great as James Bond when they were looking for Bond replacement.
Yeah. It's going to be a tough act to replace Craig.
It is going to be difficult. I like this scene, actually. Is this the Minister of Defence?
Yeah. No, he basically... I mean, Alan says, when he did the review, Alan said that, you know, it doesn't make sense that M switches sides, but the Minister basically tells her, you need to do this, you know.
Yeah, the Minister's pressuring her to bring Bond in because the Americans are kicking up a fuss, but obviously Bond gives her alludes to the fact that he knows what's going on, so she trusts him to basically finish the job.
Yeah.
I mean, she really feels the pressure in this film, whereas the next film is obviously her swan song, which is more emotionally challenged. In this one, she's dealing with a lot of political pressure. And Bench really is good in this movie. I mean, Calvin Dyson keeps complaining how she keeps hopping from one location to the next. Like, I don't care. Like, I think it's good to get her involved in the story.
It's not like The World Is Not Enough, where it just kind of seems forced, or Die Another Day. Like, I mean, there's no point of
doing The World Is Not Enough. I'd rather she do more than just stand behind the desk.
Well, no, I mean, she was okay in World Is Not Enough, but it made no sense for her to be like out and about in the field and Die Another Day. I mean, like,
frankly, the film was so bad. Why didn't she just stay away?
Yeah, I mean, she was the only good thing about that 0 out of 10 shit fest. or minus a million, as I gave it in my review.
I actually really like the scene with Craig and Camille. The fact that he understands why she wanted to kill Medrano, and she understands that Vesper's dead. So they're both lost people, and they're both out for revenge, which is interesting. And that's Bond's kind of major emotional story arc. You know, it's quite poignant actually. He wants to get revenge, but at the same time, at the end he decides to let it all go and just move on and just forget about it, which I think is great, and it shows that he's really sort of changing. He's emotionally coping, like, whereas because in Skyfall he's much more humorous and he's much more lighter than life.
And Inspector as well.
Yeah, and Spectre, of course. And obviously when he comes across Blofeld, it's a bit of a shit scare.
Yeah, but I love the scene where like she's basically explaining the fact that her family were killed by Meldrano. Like her sister and mother, I think, were raped, and her father was killed by Meldrano when she was like 7. And he just kind of smiled at her, and ever since then she's sort of been on this like revenge to kill him.
Yeah. So they're both using green to get to someone.
I think she's one of the more developed Bond girls as well. Like a lot of Bond girls are just kind of there for Bond to, sort of shag and then be done with. But
yeah, afternoon fuck, and then he moves on.
Yeah, I mean, he gets his condom and then he moves on. Well, no, Bond's more
for nothing.
Bond. Yeah, no, Bond's more of a bareback guy. I mean, yeah, I'm surprised Bond hasn't got an STD by now.
Daniel Cock.
Yeah.
Sean Connery.
Can you feel the love tonight?
Oh, cool.
You know the way he says it's a circle of life in Skyfall? Could you imagine if he said, "Can you feel the love tonight?"
Yeah. The idea with Bond and Vesper. That's because...
No, it should have been... Oh, all right, yeah, you can do my little finger. Oh, God.
That's a squishy line.
Yeah.
That's because you know what I can do with my little finger.
Basically, Bond likes to finger Vesper.
With his little finger.
God. Oh,
Balls
jeez.
of steel.
Or he likes to stick it in her, you know what?
Yeah, stick it in like crazy.
I'll stick it in your arse. I'll stick it in your arse.
You're welcome.
I bet Vesper's taking good care of his body.
You can have me anywhere. Now they discovered that it's not oil, it's water.
Yeah.
I think
This plot.
movie.
Yeah. This plot kind of reminds me a bit of Chinatown, where the governor of the town is like stealing all the water.
Mm.
I really like this crossfade where they're walking through the desert and she's walking barefoot to the town.
Yeah, that works. But the crossfade later on doesn't really work. Like the whole art house kind of style, it's not really James Bond. I appreciate them trying something different, but I'm glad they went back to a more classic route in Skyfall. Actually, I've just noticed they reused that shot of the pipe when it was dripping.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. I mean...
Oh, it's a school bus!
I know what you mean about the art house stuff, because, I mean, James Bond, they are kind of B movies. I mean, they're good films, but they are just kind of... They're just kind of entertainment movies. Like,
They're like event movies.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to compare this, though, to, like, another action movie series, I mean, it's 10 times better than Transformers.
I think this is trying to be some kind of avant-garde, sort of artsy masterpiece. I don't think it quite reaches that level. It's kind of, this movie is a little bit conflicting in that sense. It's trying to be James Bond, but also a really sort of deep art house film.
Well, I think some of the cross dissolves and some of the cuts they do in the film, I think they do work sometimes. I mean, they're not always bad. I mean, I think this scene here is quite tense with the music when he encounters M.
And if you think about it, like, people complain about M going all over the place in this film, but she kind of has to, because Bond is just going rogue. He's not listening to a word she's saying. She has to. And if it means doing it personally, then she'll do it, because and she's being pressured. So I don't know why.
The minister basically told her that we have to make deals with the Bolivians. We have to do this. You're going to have to do it. She's pushed into a corner about it.
And then obviously she decides to rebel.
Yeah.
Time to go. Oh no, this is where another mistake. I think this was going a bit too far. Like, why didn't they just have her murdered in another way? Like,
Yeah.
why does she have to die by oil? Like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I do like this. She's like, why her Bond? I mean, she's not a dick about it like Bernard Lee. Like, we're just like, don't kill him. Too many people,
I mean, you can understand why she is the way she is. She doesn't really have a choice.
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't say you're going forever. She doesn't say, like, your license to kill is revoked. She just says you're suspended from duty. That's it. She's not, like, trying to, kill Bond or revoke his license. That's the thing I don't like about License to Kill. M is just a dick. He's just like, oh, don't kill him. Too many people.
Yeah. Well,
License to Kill is revoked.
License to Kill was originally going to be called License Revoked.
Yeah, I'm glad it wasn't.
Yeah.
That would just be stupid. I mean, I don't understand it, but John Glenn thinks License to Kill is his best Bond film. I'm sorry, but Living Daylights and View to a Kill are much better.
I would say, yeah, The Living Daylights is his best one. I like the music here.
I kind of like the shock on her face. I kind of like the fact she just lets Bond get away. I know Alan complained about it, but she was backed into a corner about it, and in the end, she does care about Bond, and that's explored more in Skyfall because Bond, it's sort of a mother, son sort of relationship.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And she says, "Oh, I don't give a shit about the CIA." I think because also like she said, "Oh, there's a capture kill out order on you. Who would have done that?" It's like, oh, okay, green. So that's when she's like, okay, I see what he's doing now. He's onto something.
Yeah.
Get in.
Please don't talk to me, Mr. Bond, like I'm stupid.
Wake up!
Oh, God, that's all we needed. Italian in Quantum of Solace.
Wake up! You're welcome.
Could you imagine if she said that to Dominic Green? Please don't shout at me like I'm stupid.
You'll be waking up tomorrow with your balls in your mouth.
Yeah, this scene's quite interesting with Felix.
Felix, yeah.
Where basically he has to set up Bond, but he lets Bond escape.
Yeah. He gives him the final piece of information that he needs.
Yeah.
I wanted to see more of Jeffrey Wright in the Craig era. I would like him to return in Spectre. Again, because we never found out what happened to Monica Bellucci's character, whether she actually did survive and escape or not.
I mean, I think in terms of critics, most people like Quantum of Solace because if you go on Rotten Tomatoes, it's got, I think, about a 68% on Rotten Tomatoes. Like, all the critics who reviewed it there really seemed to enjoy Quantum of Solace a lot.
Yeah, some of them thought it was all right, yeah. But not as good as Casino. I think Casino was rave reviews.
Yeah, I think Roger Moore said he liked Casino, wasn't as big as a fan of Quantum, loved Skyfall, and I think he liked Spectre.
Yeah. And obviously he'll never see Bond 25, but I'm sure people are dedicated to him.
Yeah, it's kind of weird now, the fact that one of the James Bonds is dead, because all of them used to be alive, but now that one of them's dead.
It still hasn't really processed.
Yeah.
By the way, speaking of celebrity deaths, you heard about Bruce Forsyth.
Oh yeah, nice to see you. To see you is nice.
Yeah, he was a lovely man, nice on-screen talent. He had quite a legacy.
I mean, I was never the biggest fan of Bruce Forsyth. I never really bothered with Strictly Come Dancing, and I never really watched any of the game shows that he did. But judging from the, I mean, I did see him a couple of times on TV, and he was a really nice man. He was a really genuinely nice guy.
Yeah, I like to see James move your ass.
Yeah. That's what I like about Felix. He knows that they're going to try and capture Bond, but he lets him escape.
It's nice that after Casino Royale, they formed a bit of a friendship and a bit of an alliance, so they would help each other out. Like obviously, they had a deal to like the Americans could take Le Chiffre. Bond had the winnings. That was good. I'd have liked Felix again. Felix should have appeared more. Hopefully, he'll come back for Bond 25. That'd be nice.
Why does the CIA want to kill Bond? Is it because of the deal with Dominic Green?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, and also because he's killed quite a few people, and they think he's a bit of a wreck. So.
Yeah, I know Alan complains about the desert, the hotel in the middle of the desert, but it's not that silly. I mean, we've had stupider things to James Bond. I mean, we've had cities underwater. We've had we've had bad guys' lairs inside hollowed out volcanoes. Having a hotel in the middle of the desert isn't that stupid, to be honest.
I mean, if you think about it, this hotel is actually only a place to stay. It's not a tourist resort. It's not a resort. Yeah. It's just a hotel for military just to stay if they're working in the desert. It's not. Again, it's not. It's an industrial resort. It's not a tourism resort.
Yeah. I like this bit where he's talking to Camille here, where he gives her the gun.
Camille?
And he's basically like, do it fast, do it clean, or whatever it is.
Just do it!
Bond. God, it's even Stevens with James Bond.
Twist, the next Bond is Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
Shit on the bed.
Do it!
Don't let your dreams be dreams.
Did you ever see the film Lawless?
No.
He's actually decent in that film.
He's a good actor.
Yeah, he was in Lawless with Tom Hardy. That was a good movie.
Take a deep breath.
Deep breath. Meldrano. I mean, yeah, I think the Hotel in the Desert works fine. I mean, we've had sillier stuff in James Bond, like...
And they're only going to blow it up anyway.
Yeah. I mean, it is interesting, Dominic Green's plan, basically, to steal the water. It's not to do with oil, like the world's not enough. He wants the water to, to control Bolivia, basically. Like, he's going to help this. He's going to make Meldrano the president, but Dominic Green's sort of going to be in charge anyway.
Yeah. Which is the contract that he's signing, isn't he?
The dollar isn't what it once was. The cost of war. We have heard that the corruption of this current government can no longer be tolerated.
Look at Elvis.
Yeah. You imagine he's like, ain't nothing but a ham, dogger, right all the time.
Medrano. Oh, that's Mathis's friend, the Colonel, isn't it? That's why Mathis was in the boot, because the Colonel had obviously double-crossed him.
Yeah. The way he's getting Meldrano to sign all the documents.
Sign it with your balls.
Your new government will use us as special not only what we are paying now. And this don't sign it. But you should know something about me and the people I work with. Yes. We deal with the right. Your new government will use us. If the current president had been more agreeable, I wouldn't be talking. You decide not to sign, you wake up with your balls in your mouth and your willing replacements.
With your balls in your mouth.
Yeah. And your willing replacement standing over you.
I really love the climax of Quantum of Solace.
Yeah.
Pretty cool fight.
I love the way it cuts. I love the way it cuts to Camille. It's quite cool.
Mm.
Decide not to sign, wake up with your
Bugs in your mouth.
you doubt that, then she may take that money and
I don't think Medrano's intimidated by him. He just finds him an annoying little weasel.
Yeah, I think he just wants. I just think he wants him to get out of his face. You know.
He was like, fine, I'll give you what you want, just fuck off. Obviously silly with that bloody neck brace.
Yeah. He looks like a cat with a cone over its head. Ugh. Oh yeah, the scene. Yeah, the scene where he rapes the girl who leaves her the drink in his room. You and I had a mutual friend. This action scene is awesome.
You had a mutual friend.
This level in the game is actually quite cool.
It is. It was hard the first time I played it, but replaying it's not too bad.
I have to say, the Casino Royale Quantum of Solace game is actually pretty fun.
Yeah, they should have called it Casino Royale / Quantum of Solace. It's more Casino Royale than it is Quantum of Solace.
Well, it's got both in it.
Yeah, I would have liked to have a level in the boat chase.
Imagine it was called Casino of Solace.
Yeah, Quantum Royale.
Yeah. I like this fight with Meldrano and Camille. I think Craig's outfit is actually really cool, like the jeans and the jacket or whatever.
Oh, yeah, the black jacket.
Yeah. I think that's an awesome action scene where he just jumps through the ceiling, the glass ceiling.
I do like the slow motion glass effect when Green is running from the main room.
It is funny. Like, why does he need to like scream when he's throwing the axe? Why can't he just, say nothing when he's trying to hit Bond with the axe?
Yeah, in a real world, nobody does that. They go, and they grunt.
I think they were trying to like recreate the scene on the Golden Gate Bridge with Roger Moore and Christopher Walken.
But Christopher Walken never made those noises.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa, Mr. Bond. Oh, whoa.
I think it is a good action scene, though. It is good.
It's pretty slick.
Yeah. Although I don't think it's a patch on the fight at the end of A View to a Kill.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, that fight.
Looks like you just lost another one.
Looks like your friends have bailed.
I'd just let Green fall right there.
I think the mistake they made with this is they put that shot of Camille holding the gun in there before they should have done.
Yeah, I think this scene is quite good. Where like there's fire everywhere, and she's sort of in the corner, sort of crying or whatever.
I do think that they should have cut that shot out where she points the gun at him. That would have been tension when you hear the sound of the shot, and then he says, "Sounds like you just lost another one."
Yeah,
but no.
That scene where I like the scene where like Bond sort of comforts her.
Yeah, there. You're welcome.
Alan did a top 10 movie list recently. I might do a top 21 actually. I don't know. Like, might have to review the films before I do a top 10 or 20 movies thing.
Oh, there's some I'm not on there, as in reviews on your channel.
Well, yeah. But you don't necessarily need to review them before you do a top 10 list.
No, Alan didn't review all of his. But I agree.
Yeah.
This is nice. Like,
He didn't or he did?
it's like taking her back to her childhood. It's like a memory
Yeah.
of her being so scared of what happened before with her family.
Yeah. And the way Dominic Green's just sort of limping away. Like, oh. Bond's like, I'm not done with you yet.
Have a drink. It's a miracle how they survive, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dominic
I think
Green.
that I think the climax of the movie is really good though.
Yeah. There
And
he
a
is.
sort of epilogue, and the epilogue you get after when he sort of resolves the Vesper storyline.
Yeah, he lets her go.
I just think the scene is bad arse, like where he just throws him the can of oil. I bet you won't make it 20 miles if I drink in that.
You want to make it 20 miles before you consider fucking me? Goodbye, Mr. Green.
I told you what you want to know about Quantum.
Quantum.
Like Quant.
And your friends are
Spectre.
dead, so they're probably looking for you.
But he didn't tell him that Quantum is Spectre. It's brilliant how, now that all four movies are connected, there's little hints that foreshadow Spectre in the first
Yeah.
two movies.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think the reason why he doesn't call it Spectre is because then Bond would know
Hmm.
that it was Blofeld.
Yeah. So that's why Green hasn't said, oh, it's Spectre.
You're in the middle of a desert.
Because like Blofeld said, he was leaving trail of breadcrumbs for him. You know, it was me, James, the author of all your pain.
Make it 20 miles before you consider drinking that.
Honestly. Like, when he says to him, Le Chiffre, green, silver, all dead. Yeah, a nice pattern developed. You interfered in my world, I destroy yours.
Yeah.
So it's intricate how Blofeld has planned all of this with all the villains.
Yeah. I mean, I think the reaction to Spectre was quite like Quantum. Like, the reaction was kind of mixed. Like, some
Yeah.
people loved it, some people didn't like it. I think it was the same with Quantum, you know. I think, you know, you have a film like Casino Royale, everybody, or almost everybody loves it. And then you have Quantum, and then people are more mixed. And you have Skyfall, and people love that. And then you have Spectre, which people are more mixed. I think after you have a really great film in the series, you're bound to get people saying the next installment isn't as good.
Yeah. Well, I think we both agree Spectre is better than Quantum of Solace.
Yeah, I mean, Spectre, I don't care what everybody says. It's my favorite Bond film. And I don't think that's going to change, to be honest. I mean,
It's a bloody
Live
awesome.
and Let Die. Live and Let Die is a close second, but I just think Spectre had everything in it, like everything in a Bond movie that I wanted. Like, it had the references and bringing back Blofeld. It was just, I loved it.
And the way it connected all four films was of Craig's era was brilliant.
Yeah, I know my cousin kind of. I know my cousin kind of my cousin kind of gets pissed off with me because he didn't like Spectre as much, but like he kind of gets annoyed that I rank it at number one. But you know,
It's your opinion. Music score's great.
yeah,
I think David Arnold, well, it would be nice for him to return for Bond 25. If not,
yeah.
well,
This scene where he's waiting for the guy kind of reminds me of the start of Casino Royale, where he's waiting for the guy.
oh yeah. Em was so sure sent to 00.
Yeah,
Sit
I
down.
like that. Where, yeah, sit down. He's like quite intense. Yeah,
I'm surprised that obviously your favourite Bond film isn't one with Roger Moore.
yeah. No, same. I mean, I think Roger Moore is my favorite Bond, but Spectre's my favorite Bond movie.
Hmm.
I know, Miss
With that, Alan ranks Casino Royale at number 2, and Craig isn't his favourite Bond.
Yeah.
His life will be threatened, and because you love him, you won't hesitate.
I think Thunderball, yeah, is his favourite Bond film. Which, you know, fair enough.
Yeah, I respect his opinion. I wish I could get into that movie, but I just can't. It's too slow. Yeah.
I know there are fans of Thunderball out there, and
Yeah.
you know, if people like Thunderball, fair enough. I just can't get into it. I mean, the underwater stuff, I'm sorry, just kind of bores me.
It's stylish, but it drags.
Yeah.
And it's edited badly.
Yeah. It goes. I think the problem with Thunderball is it goes on way too long. I think 2 hours is just too long for that movie.
Yeah.
Considering the fact that the first 3 Bond films are like an hour and a half or an hour and 40 minutes, I think making it 2 hours for Thunderball is just too much.
Yeah, it was a little overlong.
And I think the plot is just generic. Oh, stealing 2 nuclear weapons so we can sort of hold the world at ransom.
I mean, Largo was pretty crap.
Yeah. I mean, I know Largo is Alan's favorite villain, but I'm sorry, there's nothing to him. I mean, all that his villain has is an eye patch. That's it, really. You know? Like you said, I'm a pirate.
Yeah, that Bond doesn't kill Vesper's boyfriend.
Yeah. Yeah, this year's the 50th anniversary of You Only Live Twice and 40th anniversary of The Spy Loved Me.
Oh.
As well as the 30th anniversary and 20th anniversary of Living Daylights and World's Not Enough. Sorry, Tomorrow Never Dies.
Tomorrow Never Dies. Wish I could help. Americans.
I never left. I like the fact that he finally let go when he told that girl basically that, you know, this guy's a bastard and you can go. And the way they sort of froze the locket at the end in the snow.
It's like, you know, I need to move on with my life and forget about
the gun barrel. Craig needs his shit.
Never left. I agree. It's a powerful ending, and it definitely concludes that part of Craig's story. And the journey continues in Skyfall.
Yeah.
Well, that was pretty short.
I think it was long enough.
1 hour 40 minutes.
Yeah. Craig needs his shit in the gun barrel.
But Quantum of Solace. It could have been about maybe 15 minutes longer, but that was pretty good.
Yeah. I actually didn't mind the length. I think it was long enough, to be honest. For me, anyway.
Gemma Arterton's credited as Strawberry Fields. Oh. That was good. I still think it's the weakest of the Daniel Craig films, but it's good. It's decent, enjoyable.
Yeah, I mean, as for me, I think Casino Royale is the weakest. I know a lot of people would disagree, but I prefer Quantum simply because there's more action in it. It's shorter, and I just like the revenge story. I think the revenge story works for Quantum of Solace.
Yeah. Obviously, things will now change in Craig in Skyfall, which is 4 years off this.
Yeah, I mean, it was a long wait after Quantum of Solace. A very long wait, but it paid off. And I'm looking forward to Bond 25, even though that is still 2 years away. I think, to be honest, after Craig leaves, they should lessen the gaps between each film. I mean, I think 4 years... I think 4 years for a Bond film is a bit too long.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I mean, I guess also it depends on the new guy. Whoever the new guy is, he may not need as much time off between movies.
Yeah, I mean, I just think 4 years, like, it's nearly half a decade for a Bond movie. I think, the fact that we're only talking about Bond 25 now, is a bit, it is a bit of a wait, and I think Louis sort of agrees with me that it is a bit too long. I mean, if it had came out next year, I'd have been fine with it, or later this year. But yeah, I mean, we'll just have to see. I mean, I just think that 4 years for a Bond film. I just think that the next guy hopefully doesn't take as much time off between each movie. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, with any luck, after Bond 25, it'll be about 2 or 3 years because it will be the 60th anniversary in 2022. But they should try and get one out in 2021. But again,
yeah.
I think they'll.
I mean,
I think that's what will happen. The new guy will start in the 60th anniversary.
yeah. Well, so in 2022 then.
I have a feeling that they will, unless they can crack out another film before them, which is unless they shoot back to back with 2 films. But it depends on the new guy.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Yeah.
I just hope that the next guy, whoever it is, I hope like they get the right guy, and I hope he does a good job because I mean, Craig, he has. I think, to be fair, he has saved the series, and
Yeah.
and
After the Brosnan era.
yeah, I mean,
I'm just glad
Yeah,
that his era is longer than Brosnan. He's done one more than Brosnan would have done.
yeah, I think 5 films is a good, set of,
It's good
I think that's enough. Yeah,
Me, most
I think
pretty much amazing.
I think, yeah, I think any more than that, and too many Bond films,
Hmm. Yeah.
because
Yeah. If he'd have done more than one, it may have been a bit too much. I wouldn't have minded 2, but yeah, I think one.
I think that would have been too long.
Yeah, I think 1 is fine. Plus, because he's had long gaps between his movies, and so far, I think 3 of his movies are pretty amazing. 1 movie I like, but so hopefully this one will be just as good, if not better, than the others.
Yeah, I hope it's better. I mean, considering the fact now that Sam Mendes has done his last Bond film, I think they need to get a good director in. They can't just get anybody off the street. They need to have somebody like. I mean, to be honest, I think they should get Matt Reeves to do the next Bond film. I think he'd do a great job considering the job he's done with War for the Planet of the Apes and Dawn.
Yeah,
I mean, I think
I would love Matt Reeves to do it.
I mean, I think after the 2 Planet of the Apes films he's done, he's probably one of the best directors working today.
I would have to agree with that. I don't know if he will do it because he's directing the Batman film at the moment. So, depending on how long that takes, but I would love Matt Reeves to do it. But unless they bring back Martin Campbell again, I don't think.
Yeah.
I think they might go with somebody completely who we don't know. There was a rumor that the guy directing the new Blade Runner film was tipped for it. I don't see Christopher Nolan doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been the one that's sort of like, well, apparently he's a Bond fan. He said he would do it if, with a new actor, not with Daniel Craig, not because of Craig, just because of the fact he'd want to tell his own story. So, which I think is fair enough.
This is actually directing a Batman film with Ben Affleck, so that would be interesting to see what he has to say about Batman. I mean, I think he'll do a good job.
Yeah, I mean, if he can apply what he did in Planet of the Apes to Batman, then hopefully it'll be very good.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we could get in Christopher Nolan, but he would bring to the Bond table.
We'll have to wait and see. So
Yeah. Yes.
that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching and listening to our commentary. Stay tuned for future
You
commentary
there?
hangouts. Is there anything you want to say, Jack, before we close off?
I hope Bond 25's good.
Yes, and hopefully it will be a great end to what's been a fantastic era for a great Bond. So, thank you guys for watching and listening. I'm Mr. Thomas 11. This is Jack, and see ya.